afternoon, everybody. I'm Lisa Campos, Community Affairs Director with you Positively Tampa Bay. We are nearly a semester into the new school year, and experts say it's around this time that behavioral issues start to show up in kids who are having trouble at school. Now, the folks at Directions for Mental Health, Inc. in Clearwater have been helping families through some very tough times since 1982. Their services are free and open to all residents of Pinellas County, and this is a nonprofit organization. Here in our studios with more information is David Lomaka, who's the president and CEO, and Natalie Kiefer, who's a senior member of the children's therapy team. Thanks so much for coming in.
Thanks for having us.
Tell us about Directions. How many families do you all help each year?
Well, Directions is a nonprofit organization that has served, this year will exceed over 9,000 individuals. Over 3,000 of those are kids that we're seeing that are under the age of 18, whether it's through a child welfare program or kids in a outpatient or a outpatient or community-based kinds of services we'll do.
And you have different services. How do families access which particular program?
A number of ways. If kids were, if somebody was to look up Directions, whether it's on a website or the phone and call the number and get in, we would do a brief phone screening and get them in for services, sometimes immediately if they need to be, as soon as possible, depending on the child's situation. We'll work with emergency rooms, we'll work with locals. There's a psychiatric inpatient hospital that if kids were admitted there, that they might come to us via, that direction.
So many families think that counseling is too expensive and they don't have the budget for it. How can folks pay for this service?
And it actually is the #1 barrier to people not accessing mental health services is because of the uncertainty of does their insurance cover it, what's possible. With kids and families in particular, most insurances will cover, any kind of child mental health services. Medicaid really covers everybody. It's really a safety net in Florida. So there should be no child in the state of Florida that shouldn't have access to mental health services. And we're able to work with all of those different funding sources, sliding fee scales, whatever it took. We would be able to see a kid and a family.
Natalie, you are a licensed clinical social worker, a very big title, helping some small people, right? Tell us, what are some of the signs that families should be on the lookout for if their child is having some trouble? How would they exhibit that at home?
It's important to know that signs of depression in teens and children can sometimes be different than adults. If you're seeing your child exhibit prolonged sadness, they have an increased irritability and hostility, problems with attention and concentration, extreme sensitivity to failure, they may have, they're not as interested in doing things that they used to be. They also may complain of things such as headaches and stomach aches, and or if they're mentioning any thoughts of suicide or any self-harming behaviors.
So when some adults say, oh, you're a teenager, you can't be depressed, that's inaccurate.
That is a myth. There is actually about 5% of children and adolescents at any given point in time who are suffering from depression.
And would you say that the middle school or high school is the most difficult?
I think the middle school is definitely the most difficult transition for kids that we see. Yeah.
Okay, well, thanks so much for coming in. We want to give our viewers at home information on where they can access the Directions for Mental Health, Inc. Here's the number on your screen. It's 727-524-4464. Or you can visit them online to learn about their different programs. They have 2 locations in Pinellas County to serve you. Please visit directionsmh.org. Thanks for watching, everybody.